We click this button, and are we live there? Oh my gosh. Holy. I think it works. I think everything works now. I like it. Got a keg. This just filled up. Let's move this over here. My TV's off. What the heck, dude? For real. Connect these. We got some actual work to do. That's a good sign. We got a towel. We got a towel. Did I tell you guys I engraved a towel? A few spots. This was a first test. It actually worked not so bad on this, but it's worked better on this one. Look at that. Look at that. We're giving those away to customers now, and actually orders. Those are getting given away to orders. Woot! All right, let's connect these. Green lights all around. It's time. We need to tape some seals first. We got a car key. We have space. Look at this. Look at this. I got some space. It's so nice when a truck actually has the center console do that. Ooh, TV. Then I can read. Oh, everything froze. It doesn't like that. There we go. So let's try this one. And about yay tall. Yay Saturday stream. I know, right? We might even have one on Sunday. Finally ordered from your site 2 days ago. Super. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. What'd you get? What tape is this one? This is an alternate that I'm trying out. And I'm less impressed with it. Overall, you get initial thoughts and then you use it a little bit more and then you get a little disappointed. This is one of those. There's things to like, but I don't think it's quite as aggressive as I would like. How does the tape help? The tape helps because it's like creating a brand new seal. So there is dirt and all sorts of crap in your side seals. And as you're tinting, that can leach out into your work. So when you tape it, you're basically just trapping all that would be in the seal, felt seals as well, and it just stays out of your work. C2 and a couple tools. Nice. We're actually installing C2 Carbon right now. I'm looking at Tint where I live. 2 places offer 3M or Solar Guard. Nice. I don't have anything really bad to, it just depends on quality of work. You'd probably be happy with both. It's more about the workmanship than the film that you're getting. What is that roll? What is that? Oh, this is my carbon that I was looking for. I'm about to open a brand new roll. I knew I had one around here. Let's not do that. I didn't know the difference between carbon and ceramic, or was that through 3M or Solar Guard? It's hard to keep track of people and questions. Do you have 10% off geocode promo? I use traveling finger code, but you can only use it once. 10% off one-time order? Well, not you know, we have one for the class. We don't really have a one-time off 10% first-time order. Right now we have a ongoing 313 tint code that gives you 5% off. But that's interesting. I'm keep that one in mind. I'm gonna keep that one in mind. On our site, it'd be a little bit too easy, I think, for people to just keep making new accounts and getting 10% off every order. It'd be a little tough to maintain. But right now we have a 5% off one. Can we put geofill on TikTok shop? Can we do that? All right, so we're gonna slide that over. We're going to trim this side off here. Ooh, that's bad. We don't want that to happen. Hang on. Hang on. Ooh, that's really bad. We don't want that to happen. So it grabs some, like a finger, and it basically buckled the tint in. That's really bad because I don't know if this will extend far enough now. Let me see. I purposefully made it wide, but I kind of like these being wide, so that's why I did it that way. Do you know the guys at 586? No. No, I do not. I don't think they're very far away, though. All right. I think these patterns would be okay. I still want them to be a little wide. So on this one, you can tuck in a little bit farther. You got the seal right here. So I don't want to see that edge. So much for the dream craftsmanship. We're gonna turn it in, boys. It reminds me, I gotta remember I did these sideways too anyways. See, what I like about hand cutting is being able to mess up cuts and throw film in the trash. How much does back passenger window and rear window tint cost to get done? So the one window would be 60 and the rear window would be, depends on the rear window a little bit. They're typically 100 to 150. If they're just like a whatever window, then it's $100. Double shrink? Maybe, probably not. Okay, let's try this again. So we're gonna start with this bottom cut here. Clear that away. I started with this side. I don't have to. It doesn't matter. But let's make the same mistake twice here. Let's poke that in. Tear away. Slide this over. Right about there. That'll work. And we're gonna come over here. So what happened on that first mistake is you see this bulk right here. I just wasn't careful and I caught some of that, and then it basically just like created a little wave. And so as I was cutting, that wave bunched up, which made my whole cut trail off. Just make sure this is nice and flat. Like you'll see it kind of lift off the glass. Push it here, it lifts up there. If you push it there, it lifts up here. Make this flat. And then make your cut. See? No issues. We got a little carried away. Tint will do that. Tint will humble you. So many times. In so many ways. And no matter how decent you think you get, tint will still humble you. So we're going to check the inside seal on here. It's a little offset. Nothing bad. We'll pull this down just a tinge more. It's an accurate measurement, a tinge. 1 tinges or 2 tinges. So you don't tack on those cuts. I would recommend tacking. I didn't. Ding, ding. Let it go quiet, and there we go. I would recommend tacking sometimes. That's one of the reasons that it slid away from me is because I didn't. But I could give you another reason. So I squeegeed, I shifted it over, or I squeegeed it, made this cut, and then it was loose enough for me to just shift it over. I usually run water behind it. So if you look at that replay, you'll see I did 2 slightly different things with both passes. Where do you order your tint from? 313tint.com. TikTok, don't ban me. Our numbers are plummeting already. I can feel it. They're like, he said it. Shut him down. Even though he sells tools on TikTok shop. Shut him down. How many cars? Just this one. I have a family birthday party for a nephew to go to. He's turning 1. They want us to dress up like cowboys, but I don't think we have anything. But don't worry. I have an equinox tomorrow. See, he's scheduled for 1 o'clock today. And I was like, look, I am sorry, dude. I forgot to block off that time in time. What other date would work well for you? And he's like, the 16th. And I'm like, fuck, that's a Sunday. But it's an equinox, so I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. And then we are setting up for classes on Monday. And then we have classes all week. And then another thing on Saturday. It's spring. Can you feel it? How long is your glasses? Like the cut boards? Are you going live in the class? I don't know. We have 8 people coming. That usually means like all hell breaks loose. So we might, but we might not. Where do you get your tint from? Who's your distributor? So we sell GeoShield films. We are distributor. 313 is your own brand. It is. So 313tint.com, like 313 is the Detroit area code. So I just really like that because it was short. 313 tint. Anybody that saw 8 Mile will know that. The overall thing is Detroit Tint Studio though. I'm always debating on changing Detroit Tint Studio for the store though. Because I would like it to be like Detroit Tint Supplies or something, but do you run GeoShield? No, I don't run GeoShield. But we sell their films, and we have our own tools that we sell, along with a bunch of other like Fusion tools, Tri-Edge, Pro Tools, Glass Aid stuff, and a bunch of miscellaneous other ones. How long have you been tinting? Since aviation mechanics school in 2009. I was going to school and learning how to tint at the same time. We open 6 days a week. This week we're open 7. Generally, it's been 5. Lately, his appointments have been so scatterbrained and everything. It's been on a flexible schedule lately. I'll just say that much. What percent tint is that? This is 20. We're doing 20% C2 carbon on the front doors, and then we're going to do 50% on the windshield. Would you recommend race deck in a shop with no drains? That's exactly what I have. I have race deck in a shop with no drains. It depends on if you're washing cars, no. Because it's just gonna sit, and it's never gonna have a chance to completely dry out. If you're doing like a couple tint appointments, it's totally fine. But yeah, it's not magic. Water will sit underneath it and eventually dry out just fine. I like it for what we do. Tint shop I went to damaged my defrosters. Is this normal? Yes. We butcher seals, defrosters. Unfortunately, no, it's not good. It's normal for bad shops and unprofessional people, but it's not normal. It's not good normal. But sometimes we do this. Sometimes we just decide to light your truck on fire. I just got to run more slip solution through my my hose reel here. I think that's what I'm seeing. Let's make sure. This should be warm. It's still cold. I just filled up my keg this morning. Whatever was sitting in the line just needs to drain through. Where do you get the plastic bags from? That's our panel guard. 313. 313. So you tint with warm or cold water? It depends on the temperature outside. If it's cold outside, I want warm water. If it's hot outside, I want cold water. Most of it's just to be more comfortable and a little bit on glass temperature. So if the glass is cold, it's still perfectly fine to tint. Your tint is gonna slide fine. But if it's too cold, your hands are gonna feel it. And it's gonna take a little bit longer to dry. So if you keep things at like a nice room temperature, that's generally a little bit more better is the proper term for it. More better. What's better than better? More better. What kind of solution do you use? Tint slip. Tint slip. Does the haze go away after it cures? This stuff doesn't haze. Tints used to haze. It depended on the glue. But all the films that we use right now have acrylic adhesives. They do not haze. So if you are experiencing haze in your window films and it's been a couple of days, like the haze was only ever for like immediately after installation for like a few hours. It's like an old thing. You don't really see that anymore. But I'm not saying there's no films that do that anymore. But if you are experiencing that and it's been at least a couple days, it's probably just a cheap carbon or ceramic film. And that's never gonna go away. What's the benefit of torching windows? Just because we like to be abusive. I can show it a little bit better on the other side. It has to do with water beating off the windows. You want it to evenly bed sheet over the window. It was giving me a tood, and I was like, look, dude, enough of that tood. We need to tint it. And it was like, no. And then I grabbed the torch, and I was like, we got tint. And it's like, okay. Do you have to shrink the film? Yes. I'm just going to say blanket yes. There are times, especially on like big flatter windows, no. But it sounds, that type of question is always like, I don't want to learn how to do that. I just want to tint some windows. Do I have to learn a necessary part of the skill in order to do it? Or do you just do it for fun? Yes, you have to do it. There's no part of this. Okay, where's my I put it in my belt. And I can't find it. Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for. There's no real part of this that we do because we just feel like it. Anything that has to do with like the actual process itself, there can be some extra steps in covering door panels to be, nice for your clients and actually protect a vehicle or something like that. But we want to get these cars in and out efficiently. So, streaming and talking to chat might make you think different. Have you ever had customers not pay you or drive away without paying? How do you deal with that? File a police report, I think. I've never had that. But I don't think you can then just go to their house and burn them with a torch like I did with a window or cut them with a knife. So you probably got to file a police report or something. Lawsuit, small claims. Legal profession, not legal advice, allegedly. How much does it cost for a car? Depends on the car, depends on the film, what you got. You technically can, but probably shouldn't. That's the right answer. That juice ain't worth the squeeze. Where do you buy your films? It's in the description. Where are you commenting from? TikTok? 313 Tint. The market price. Well, you know market price is always expensive, right? It's like getting fish at a restaurant. And it's like, what's the price? And then it just says market price. And then it's just an expensive rate. Oh, damn it. We fucked up, boys. You bitch. Look at this. Look at this little squaggle. We just took off the tape. What is this? What kind of hacked shit is this? Amateur grade BS. We're gonna see if we can. We sealed this one in. Okay, so if we can pull this one gently. So what I'm doing right now, pulling seal back, we are lifting the film. And what that's gonna do is untuck the film. We're not scraping it, we're simply lifting. But we gotta do this without actually like hurting the film. Untint the window. But if it's too dry already, it's gonna be toast. If this was like 3 weeks ago, it'd be fine. Why are you removing the tint? There's a little squaggle. I think it's a little glue squiggle or something, but anytime I do that, it trashes the bottom. Not if you flush it out pretty good, but I don't know if this is actually gonna survive. This to me looks like not a hair, but like something else. So we're gonna see what this is. If it comes out easy though, then we'll see what this does. Because it looked a little fluffed. So it was either a little piece of glue yeah, just leave it, walk away, and say that's just part of it. Fuck that. So this is like literally the only thing that I can do to try and fix it. And I can show you what it's gonna look like when we squeegee it out. Because we've come this far. We're gonna be peeling this off and redoing it. But I was hoping to just at least pull the... It's got one part that's just really embedded. You can feel it. There we go. Now it's all loose. So we'll tuck this back in. And I'll show you. Run a piece of tape on that. I've never had that successfully work. But any hair that I've had a difficult time removing is like actually embedded in the glue. Otherwise, they're just pretty easy to just like get out. So I don't know. I've tried that briefly, but it did not seem to do anything. So it's out. It left like 4 3 or 4 little micro dots here, which I'm not too keen on. The rest of this is clean. So you know what that means. If the rest of it is clean, then we just rip it off and we start over. So whenever you're trying to save door window tint, it's a gamble. It usually does not pay off unless it's in a few select spots. Generally never can save it if it's the top. How many windows? I don't know, dude. I've been tinting since 2009 and I'm still not confident, so I think a couple. You'll always have those windows that just for whatever reason decide to like, nope. What did that mistake cost? Time. I got a 1-year-old birthday party to go through, and now I'm gonna be late. So that cost me a very upset 1-year-old. It's not my 1-year-old though, it's my brother's. No, it'll be fine. No, it's always time. If you're knee deep in a windshield and then you're right at the end and then it screws up, there's a little bit more film cost involved, especially when it's ceramic. That's no fun. But it's really like you lose that time, and that time costs so much more. Unless your time is worthless. Then it doesn't matter. Why did you red tape it? Because this is an emergency situation. We're bringing out the red tape. It's like a signal. We need like one of those sirens. He usually has the white tape, but he brought out the red tape. This is like pirate ship stuff. He threw up the white flag. Oh, the white tape, that doesn't mean it's okay. That means that we've given up, right? The red tape means that this is extreme. What percent tint? 20. Why didn't you put the bad piece on the wall and trace it? So I could trace the sides, but I still gotta cut the top edge. So I'd spend a similar amount of time tracing the sides and the top when I could just, screw it up hand cutting on the truck again, like I did before. What time is it? You have a plotter. I am the plotter. Did somebody say paper cut or plotter cut? Because I just got a paper cut. Look, see? This is an emergency now. He's framing it out. I've never thought of that term, but you're right. We're framing the window. I love watching you tint. Well, this is like pattern 3 for this door, so I don't know what we're doing today then. But I can tell you the temperature is up. How long does it take for the bubbles to disappear after a window tint? Brother. Do you get paper cuts? I just did. Brother. It takes a couple days. A day or two in the summertime and up to a week in the wintertime. If you push enough water out, it goes much faster. Some people just don't push very hard on the windows or leave some sections behind. Just, it's good to go over a window with some firm, even pressure with a bit of a medium to hard squeegee. Life's better for your customers. You ever scratched a window? What? Damage? Me? No. Never. I've never damaged and had to fix stuff and, tore a chunk of glass out of two different windshields. One being an old-ass Taurus, the bubbly kind, and one being an old-ass Mustang, the bubbly kind. That never happened. And I definitely never got impatient on like a Grand Prix looking thing and then busted a back window with a screwdriver trying to twist off one of those godforsaken antennas with the double-sided stick tape. Never did that. Not once. And I never scraped up a BRZ passenger door window with a gator blade and pay $550 to have that replaced with OEM glass because, of course, never. That doesn't happen. Sheesh. Why the fuck are we watching this guy? I think I'm gonna get my advice from somebody else. But if we can not do all that and still stay in business, margins must be okay. Or he's just so stubborn and he took out a business loan to keep that ship floating as he sinks it with damaged window after damaged window. We're not sure yet. We're still trying to figure that out. But we might have an answer by the end of the day. All right. So we're going to peel this halfway. Spritzy, spritzy, spritz. Pick this up. Tuck this into the side. And then we're going to pull this back. We're going to pull it again. We're going to pull this back. Tuck this into the front. Flatten it out. The thicker the film, the better? Question mark. Most films are 1.5 mil, which gives them a little rigidity. Down from that, you have 1 mil, which feel a bit like tissue paper. And up from that, you have 2 mil, which is like Geo's Apex and Pro Nano lines. I think 1.5 is pretty good enough to do most things without too much hassle. What does shrinking tint help with or do? What does it do? I don't know. I just read it in an instruction manual. We've been doing it ever since. Is Lumar a good brand? They are a very good brand. But if you're asking if they're a good brand, that might mean that they should work on their branding. because you still don't have complete confidence yet, and you're asking me about it. Is there transitional film like glasses? Yes, I have some, and it is wild and weird, and I wouldn't install it on a customer's car, but I did it on my own in a video. That was fun. The idea is really cool, but what you'll what you'll find is actually a few quirks that are a little less cool. So it only changes with UV. So if you have laminated doors or a windshield, which most cars have a windshield, it does not let UV through, therefore it does not change. And it changes pretty rapidly. So it'll quickly get dark and quickly fade back to light. So as you're driving around, your windows are constantly shifting in color tones and shadows and everything. And small things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Like if your mirror casts a shadow on your window as you're driving, the cutout for your mirror shadow is not tinted, but the rest of your window is. So as you start to round a corner, it just looks like you have a big hole in your window. It's some weird stuff, for sure. Some engineers spent way too much time making it. It would make a good baby shade, though. It would make a good baby shade. Millions of dollars in research. Congratulations, you made a good baby shade. Why do I have bubbles in my tint? Because either you suck or whoever installed your film sucks. Could you do ASMR? Are you asking me to just shut up? That's a nice way of saying, can you calm down, sir? You got a car to work on. You're doing a lot of this and not as much of this. Are small bubbles fixable? Not really. Some people will say yes, you can crush them into the film and hide them. What you're doing is you're literally marring the inside of the film. So you can lightly press on them. And sometimes you'll get them to be less visible on the outside, but they generally will always be there in some way. So like, if you're getting to the end of a window and you have like a couple little specks, pressing the air out is a good thing, and you can get away with something like that. But if you have a little cluster of specks and you saw it like a day or two after it was tinted, that window's pretty much done. Little bubbles are little dirt specks. More often than not, it's just little speckles of dirt. Microscopic, pain in your ass speckles that look like a starry night sky. That's what makes tinting tinting. It'll just kick your butt. Do you wash the car after you finish? Oh, our headphones disconnected, and now it's coming out of my speakers. Now I see why my car battery was dead. What? Well, maybe it made some good content, okay? So, whatever, dude.
Is the plastic liner that sticky?
Is that door panel cover something that you can buy? You can buy everything. 313tint.com. This is the discount code for 5% off Tint and Tools. Are you using a DJI or a GoPro? No, I got an iPhone. Best way to remove tint? Steamers. Why the tape? Because we're weird. I don't know. Why is the shop so big? Dude, why do you need a big space? It's just you. I don't know. Big dreams one day. Big dreams or fisheye lens. I don't know. We got 8 people coming in for a class. Shut up. This is going to be chaotic on Tuesday. Just you wait. What was that? Big dreams? Big memes. Yeah, believe it or not, we somehow teach people after this disaster of a door went. No, I'm kidding. It was in the pursuit of my customer's going to think I'm nuts. So my shop is off of or near 18 Mile. So I feel like rapping would probably be a pretty good career path for me. You could call me 18 Mile. It's so dumb. All right, let's go grab the torch. One ounce per gallon of tints. Wow, we're just bleeding out there. Young shade. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there for a sec. So somebody asked, why do we do that? Every once in a while, you'll tint a window and you'll just see sections where the water doesn't sheet very well. It's a little bit more, because we already torched most of it. Down here, it doesn't look so great. But basically what happens... Hey, there's Christmas over there.
Yeah, so I got
Ah, nice. Oh, nice.
stickers and transfers.
I think they sent you display boards.
You said you didn't have C2. It's Apex and Target.
Oh, nice. Can you use invisible glass compound? Oh, yes. So I've used that. I've used invisible glass. It does work. What I hate about it is that it's gritty. So as you, it's just like rubbing sand on the window. So you can rinse it off and everything's fine, but it's more elbow grease to try and fix that. And I've tried spraying some random other chemicals, like tint science. Nothing else has worked. Nothing else has worked quite like literally just torching it for a few seconds. But even with a scrubbing compound, you can't really scrub deep into the edges or anything. What year's that truck? Newer than 20. I don't remember. I'll double check though. How do you get the water pressure? We just hook it up to a hose spigot and we go nuts. There's a tint keg. and then we pressurize it with compressed air. I think TikTok disconnected. All right, fold that up. So we want to get this flat first, and then we slide that into the seal. And same thing for this side. Get this leading edge. So this right side needs to be flat against the glass, and then it just slides into the seal right like that. Do you think 15% is too dark for a front windshield? I may have done that recently. It's pretty dark. It looks cool. During the daytime, it's not going to be an issue. It's just when you have rainy conditions. If you're asking me if it's like a sensible, smart move to do, no. Is it fun? Yes. You're literally pushing water into the door panel? Yes. Yep, literally pushing water into the door panel. That's how we tint windows. We literally, we might get a couple of those today. So, water's always getting, like, you see this hole that they left here on the outside of the truck? The water gets down there. And then that's like the same spot here. It'll be okay. No, see, they don't think about that. Their car doors are shut. Anything that happens on outside is outside. Anything that happens on inside is a completely different and safe universe. It's not all exposed to weather. Shh, don't break the illusion. Spray. I'm like 99% sure TikTok disconnected. That's where all the memes are. We still live there. How do I make the bottom of the windshield tint stick? So to the dotted areas? You got to get rid of the dots, which isn't practical. You just leave, it'll be okay. Oh yeah, we're definitely disconnected. Good God. Okay, so let's click that button right there, and then. Are you only live on TikTok? Yes, but don't tell YouTube. I feel neglected. It's okay. We're back. What percentage? This is 20. Why did we wipe it off with the towel and then we sprayed it? So what did I say? After you tint your window, just go over it once. Just go over it once with a nice hard push. Make all those streaks even. Get out a little extra water. Everything's gonna dry faster. You're doing a great job. Now we're back. We're back at it. We successfully tinted door window number 2 without 3 tries. Can you explain the tint brush squeegee? I have 2 of them. What's up? No. No. They're suppressing me. It's those damn algorithms. What? See, now it's double commenting. I don't get it. I really want to try this on my cars, but I already know what's going to happen. We all know, too. It's going to turn out great. Let's go. Oh, yeah, tint brush. I have 2 of them. So shout out to Tint Buster for sending one out. Much appreciated. Somebody sent me another one in this envelope, so thank you. I wasn't expecting 2, but now I have 2. So now it looks like I love these things. So I guess we'll check out brushing some tint. Does higher quality tint reduce glare? So higher quality tint is more clear to see through. It's better. It's safer. I know this because I drove in the Philippines with 20% on the windshield. And that was the most unclear film ever. It blocked some heat, but boy, was it just ever hard to see. So, and it rains a lot there. And it gets dark after 6. We may have ran somebody over. I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of people on the side of the road. They have like 1-lane roads, or like 2-lane. 1 lane goes this way and 1 lane goes that way. And then they have like small shops littered down like every street and stuff, just like pushed up to the road. So there's like just, yeah, little stalls and food and, yes, vendors everywhere. And then there's always somebody slowly driving in front of you, so you have to go around them. Yes, I hit a kid. Oh, man. Well, I'm pretty sure they were a little older, so it might be more okay. What glass cleaner do you use? Sprayway. Sprayway. They have, this is the glass cleaner that we use, and they have these nifty cans now that I want to play around with. Look at that. Closed, open. That's cool. And then we're doing this to all our towels now. So every customer gets one of these. How'd you like the Philippines? Oh, it's nice. A lot of fun places to visit, for sure. Making a business, should I do tints, or tinting? Yes. Just put as many tint varieties in your name. Tinter, tints, tint. What do you do? We change tires. What do you use for a scrubby? We use Tri-Edge scrub pads. And I don't know why the backing keeps disappearing on me, but these are the scrub pads. And we use either these ones or the greens. Both of them, it's just the color choice. But we like these. They're pretty sweet. I don't know why. I swear I've stolen at least 20 with the backing. And then I go to look for it, and it's missing. I don't know why it's missing, though. I'm so well organized. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Oh, I'm always missing the backings to the tri-edges. I can find the scrubbies. I can never find a complete set, though. What tint are you putting on the windshield? We're doing, that's a good question. We're doing 35. No, I'm kidding. We're doing 50. 50. My customer up front was just probably like raised his eyebrows a little bit, like. So we're gonna line this around the window. How long did it take you to get that far to have that nice of a shop? Oh, it wasn't. It was definitely my tinting skills, my quality door installation tinting skills. Is tint on tint generally a bad idea? No, it's just it's an interesting thing to try and cover. So you can absolutely do it if you like had tint somewhere and then you go somewhere else and get like a second layer. There's not going to be any type of warranty on either. And most shops wouldn't warranty, like if you're like, hey, I got it done in 35, I just want to go a little darker, but I don't want to pay for removal. Most shops wouldn't necessarily just tint over it and say, like, yeah, if there's any issues, let us know. But they would probably just tint over it. I would tint over it, I wouldn't care. But if you have good tint and you layer more good tint over that, you shouldn't have any issues. I just can't guarantee that you won't. What's the tape for? So many tape questions. So that tape goes around the dotted areas, and we cut out our film on the tape instead of cutting on the glass. Are you a millionaire? No. Does a Workhorse 2 actually work with a dam? It does. It's a good machine. It's a little fiddly, as is any of those machines. Not specifically the Workhorse 2, but just in general. Like, plotters are not meant to be that cheap, but technology and manufacturing changes, and then you have your cheap machines. So they do work, and you can dial it in to be a really, really good cutting machine. They're all going to be fiddly, though. Even my Graphtec. So this thing here, even this one's going to be fiddly. It'll rip through tint and screw up the blade, no problem. You're always going to have to fine-tune them and just be on top of settings. But the more you use it, the more familiar you get with those little adjustments, and the better it is. Where's my... I was for sure... Oh, this one. This is what I'm looking for. I turned 37. Happy birthday. My nephew has a birthday party. He turned 1. I'm jealous. I want to be 1 year old. What do you do if you get a speck of dust between the tint and the window? You start over. Wow, I'm having a hell of it. I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to grab the push stick. Where's my push sticks? God, we can't keep track of anything. He said, I was looking for this. It was literally, I already got myself. I already put it here. I'm going to take my charger there. I would appreciate that. That'd be sweet. We'll make it look good. And we definitely won't break the windshield or anything. I promise. But if we did, we would replace it. Does that work? Are we selling ourselves good? I just got my windows tinted Wednesday. I have a bubble the size of a dime. Should I continue? Should I continue? What does that mean? Is it like a... It's like an arcade machine? You continue with that dime, or... Wednesday. We're on Saturday. Is that like, should I just deal with it, or should I get it redone? If you're asking me, it sounds like it bugs you. Imperfection the size of a dime might as well be an asteroid from outer space coming to blow up the Earth. It's pretty big. Pretty big deal. Would it be easier to tint before getting the windshield installed? It is easier to tint the windshield out of the car. Absolutely. What's less easy is getting somebody to hold it upright for you, because you definitely want to hold it upright. We can't find anything. Good God. I know it's here. I know it's here. I got this one, but I don't think this one has the bit I need. You know, when we had one screwdriver, actually it might be this one. When we had one screwdriver, it was easy, but I think it'll be this one. Where are you guys located at? Detroit Tint Studio, Sterling Heights. Ha! We got it. We got it. Whew. Good stuff. I was worried. Okay, so we're not going to lose that. We're not going to lose anything else today. Is that an LTT? Yes! Because it's the best screwdriver. I have two. I got the original black ones. I don't collect anything, but I got those when they came out, and they're awesome. I got bougie screwdrivers, so I literally could take mirrors off and nothing else. I want to get the white and purple one, though. What are you using to stream? An iPhone. An iPhone, actually. How much would it cost to do a truck all 4 plus back window? Message our shop, and you'll get an instant quote from our bot. It'll probably tell you $250 right now. How come your shop knife comes with a carbon blade? The green one? So we have two. We have the pinks and the greens. These come with thin carbon blades, because these are specifically for top edges. These ones, on the other hand, these are for general all-purpose cutting. These come with stainless. So I only use the black plastic knives with a carbon blade only for the top. Nowhere else. Don't cut on glass with that. Do you do just tint? That's it. That's all I do. Let's make sure that's nice and tucked in. We're going to squeegee off this half. We still got to put a piece of film and actually shrink it. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this will be nice that we'll have this cleaned and ready before we actually go to install it, because it gets annoying. Ooh, you know what I can do? I can sit in the middle. I'm so not used to that. Look at that. I'm on the center council. There we go. Oil change sticker. We'll keep that there for him. Do you need to calibrate the camera/radar after a windshield tint? No, you do not, because we don't do anything to touch that stuff. And on this one, it doesn't have it. So this is just a rain sensor and a plug-in for a mirror. So this, I would say, is a dumb mirror. But you can take housings off, but never take the actual camera assembly off of the windshield. I don't think it's particularly easy to do, but I wouldn't do it. Yeah? All right, cool. Light spritz. I'm gonna squeegee this half. Should I do a $2 super chat or a 500? This is $2 fine. You get the same answer. Okay, I actually don't do any super chats right now because I probably am gonna miss it. So this system right now does not show me any super chats, so I generally miss them entirely. We should fix that. Okay, so we gotta tint the windshield. Inside's clean, mostly prepped. Let's put this roll away, unless we want to do 20 on his windshield, which I don't think he wants to go that dark. 50. Then I'll wait for next live. We've got motivation to improve that. Clay bar window okay to use instead of razor clean. The two different things. So what a razor blade does is it scrapes your window. Duh. But it like actually scrapes glue and extra stuff off of it. What a clay bar does is it's like a clay scrubby. So it's not going to get any or necessarily all adhesive off unless you're using like a chemical that kind of melts that stuff and loosens it up. So I'll use a clay bar along defroster lines because I can't really use like a scrubby or a clay bar along defroster lines because I can't really use a razor blade. And then I use a razor blade on everything else. You see a lot of people using just scrubbies to clean windows. That's fine as long as there's nothing stuck there. And then you'll see anytime there's a sticker or glue, they'll use a razor blade. So in my opinion, there's always going to be little things stuck to your, or can be little things stuck to your window. And you wouldn't necessarily be able to see those things, but you won't be able to feel them with a scrub pad where you can feel them with a razor blade. And you're like sure to remove them with a razor blade. So I usually just skip the scrubby pad and I go straight to razor blades. How's little Matt? He's good. He's in school now, like a pre-K program. And we're about to put we have a 9-month-old, and she is about to go in on Monday. And then, yay, babysitters.
Oh, you need a camera right here. You can see all the shrink lines perfect.
Yeah.
Right here in those lines.
I have 5% all the way around, 30 on the windshield. I love it. Nice. That's a good shade. All right. So let's shrink this thing now. Has he been here? Oh, of course. That's what that back room is set up for. There's like a couch in there. And snacks. Little playroom. And then he wants to run out here and try and play with the cars instead. Oh. Hey, it stopped going. Wow.
I shut the press off.
Yeah, give me about 5 minutes.
I just finished.
Hey!
Dude, I can't get these straight. I'm too much of a window tinter. This drives me nuts.
Are you not using the...
Oh, I'm using it.
Oh, really?
But it seems like if I make it for myself, it's crooked. If I do it for a tiny human, I'll be okay. I think the big shirts are just harder to align because there's so much more material.
Yeah, you can see that.
That's it on a sale up here.
Why are you heating it? Because it's not laying flat yet. So, you see all this? This isn't just gonna squeegee out and lay flat. Window film is rigid, it's very unforgiving, and you have to shape it to fit that curve on the window. So we're effectively melting it, and then that gets it to fit the curve. It is very unforgiving. Like vinyl, you can crinkle up into a ball, and then you can throw some heat on it, and then restore it to like its original shape. Window tint, you can crinkle it up, and then it'll just stay that way. Or you can get a little piece of dirt in it, and it'll just stay that way. Like window tint's like, fuck you, dude. Does the windshield tint look darker or lighter depending on the car? No, more has to do with like the size of the window and the interior color. So this is gonna look exceptionally light right now. There just isn't much glare on our windshield. We have some overhead lights, and our ceiling is very black. So it actually cuts through this really well. But as soon as you pull it outside, it's gonna look a little darker, especially today because it's overcast and rainy. This is 50. Do you heat the side windows? Yes. Yes, if that glass has a little curve to it, it's getting some heat. We just want to make sure that it always fits the window. Because otherwise you have a bunch of little air pockets and fingers and stuff popping up along the edges. And every time that happens, that sucks in trash and you spend a half an hour trying to get that to lay flat. Did you get the hail last night? Is that what happened? Oh, I slept through it. My wife asked me about it, though. Last night was the first night in a while that I feel like we got any sleep. Our 8-month-old has had a cold. 9-month-old. 9-month-old has had a cold. And has just been waking up all the time. She's always woken up quite a bit. But a lot of rough nights. We put her to bed, went to bed early ourselves, and then actually had some type of routine last night. It was good. What's the border on the windshield? That's the U.S. border. Joke. Bad joke. That is glass aid, and we're gonna trim this out on that so I don't have to drag a blade all along his windshield. Where you're located? Sterling Heights, 18 a mound. Windshield percent for a work/fleet car, but won't be too dark. Do 50. Anytime somebody says like not too dark, 50. 50 is like perfect for that. 50 and ceramic. Ceramic is going to make the biggest difference because you're not going to feel the heat coming in anymore. It's going to be way nicer. So whether you go with a light or dark option, the ceramic is what's going to matter the most. If you wanted some shade, do 35. But 35, you're going to feel like you're going to get pulled over sometimes. Like my favorite shade on a windshield was 35. Blocks out a decent amount of glare. The only films that block out glare are nice quality films, but darker shades. So 50 and up doesn't really block out much glare. But they'll give you like a little shade and a little added privacy. But it's more so about the styling of it. And then the ceramic is going to provide some heat protection. It looks awesome. I got kids that work with 5% on all the windows, even the windshield. You know, that's something I've never done. Like, personally. I've had 5% on front doors for literally, like, 20 minutes and then took it off. People be crazy. You should tell them to do 2%. Say, why is your windshield so light? And then tell them to get 2% on it. Those kids think 5%'s the darkest. They don't know. We gotta teach them. How did you get the car in? Like, where did we pull it into the garage? Right there. The big old bay right there. Love to get a quote from you guys. Hell yeah. So you can do that a couple of ways. You could ask me, but if you want to ask me and get an appointment scheduled, if you go to DetroitTintStudio.com, we have a booking calendar so you can just schedule. So you can ask me the price, or you can message us, and you'll get like an immediate reply. We have a bot that can quote all our jobs for us. I came in through the garage door. Yeah, but to be fair, I don't think the camera ever panned to a spot where it showed the garage door yet. Where did it come through the garage door? All right, we got that. Last trim up the side. You know, it's one thing just to do this. It's another thing to hang a camera off of your neck and then do it. Quote for a 1500, darkest tint on all windows, strip on the windshield, 35 on the windshield. So 450 plus 80 would be 5 30. Darkest, we could do a 2%. So we could do 2% on all the sides and the rear. 35 on the windshield, and then a 2% strip on top of it. That'd be pretty dang dark. What's the tape called? Glass Aid. Glass Aid cut guard. Bye. That's what I like. Okay, so now that's peeled off, we're just gonna touch up the edges. So I'm just gonna smooth this back out, run a heat gun along the top and the bottom. How do you keep your floors clean? You just pull less cars in. He said nervously. You spray them with something like a cleaner, and you literally scrub them some. I would go with dark colors. If you're gonna do anything on these, dark gray, black. Don't do light colors. Don't do lots of colors. If you're gonna be driving on them, they are going to look gross, and they're not gonna clean up very easily. They're hard plastic tiles. They're nice to cover a large space and to take with you to another space. So probably go with epoxy. I think epoxy is better in certain ways. If you have floor drains, epoxy is really nice because you can sweep all the water to it. This is nice too if you have floor drains, because then the water will just naturally drain towards it. I don't know if there really is like a perfect flooring solution, because there's cons about epoxy as well, like especially with the chips in it. That stuff is hard to keep clean as well. Like, so the grippier it is, the harder it is to scrub down. But I know a shop that had it done a long time ago, and it still looks like really, really good. And then I know another shop that had it done, and then the epoxy all failed. And so now you'd have to have it all ripped up anyways. So it all chipped. So I don't know. I don't have a perfect answer. They both are cool. They both work. I think anything other than concrete, though. Concrete's fine. It's just really bad for pictures is all. So, pretty floors for pretty pictures is like really what you're getting out of it. You can have concrete floors and put out great work. Floors aren't going to impact your work. You're not tinning the ground. Might just keep it the way it is. Yeah, because no matter what, it's expensive. It's like a bucket list item. And I'll tell you, I get compliments from it, and it's one of those like, you're never gonna regret getting it, because you're just like, you always feel good about your space. I was in a house that I was renting, and then I did race deck in there because they couldn't have a permanent solution, and then the city got pissed off at me anyways, so I couldn't use it for long anyways, and then I took it here. So I've like added to race deck flooring 3 or 4 different times in order to fill out this whole space. I never thought I'd fill out the whole space, but I'm glad I did. All right, so we are going to reverse roll this, which means we're going to roll this up like a poster. So I'm going to peel it right to there. And then we're going to peel this half. I don't peel the top sections really anymore. Not entirely. Any cutouts, I'll peel up to them and I'll stop short just so I don't have water running in this area at all. I noticed I would get some water trails, and then sometimes that would bring in some extra dirt speckles. So I, for a while, stopped peeling the tint right there. But I loosened the tint up everywhere else. And as I'm unrolling it, it works. The only section that we ended up getting rid of was the green, because the green looked like excessively grimy. And that was just the border box part, so it wasn't very expensive just to replace those tiles. But we kept all the other ones. But every like 6 months to a year, you really should pull the floor up and scrub underneath it because it gets grimy. It doesn't smell bad, but there's grime under there, especially with like soapy water and rinsing dirt off of windows to it. So if you're cleaning, like if you're a detail shop, I wouldn't recommend it in your entire shop because it's just you're literally cleaning dirt into it. But if you just have like a wash pad and then that's for your like where you're washing cars, and then you can like easily move that section out of the way, then that would be okay. Do you ever use the bar soap? Yeah, we've recently tried a few different ones. Nothing sticks quite the same way. Like I've tried Irish Spring. That was the better one. I've tried a Dove bar. I've tried a few other cheap bars. Nothing stuck quite as good as Snuggle dryer sheets. So like Snuggles isn't like glue. It's not like aggressively sticky. It's just like the right type of tack. Or I'm just so used to it. I felt like the Irish Spring bar was good, but there were some instances where it just wasn't good enough. And so the film would just start to kind of like pop back up. So if you had a little bit extra tension on your window, you'd have a harder time learning with it. So I even bought a whole bunch of like Irish Spring bars. I saw a case, and so I picked up a case. I've heard liquid fabric softener mentioned quite a few times now. How do you handle a large dot matrix on a truck windshield? You just tint over it. It's gonna silver out. I just did a Toyota, and there was a big section that silvered out. What I tried to do was before I delivered it, I tried to knock as much water out of it as I could, so it looked as even as possible. I think some people leave it in a really messy looking state, and you can explain that, but not everybody's gonna understand that it's going to dry out evenly more often than not. So explanations and presentations really matter. just to cover like all your bases. Some people aren't going to care. Some people are just going to like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about. And then some people are going to throw a little fit. I usually don't run into people that throw a fit, but I try to prevent any of that. A lot of window tinters will literally just expect the customer to kind of know everything, and they'll just talk to them like another dude and just be like, here you go, thanks, bye. And then there'll be like water pockets in their windows, and they've never had tint before, and they're starting to panic because the guy was kind of rushing them out the door and getting on to the next one. Good customer service goes a long way to alleviate any of that. I can't tell you the amount of times that, like, working at other companies, they just had complete disregard for any type of, like, halfway decent after car customer service. It was all about trying to get a sale, be really nice, and then after the car was done, they couldn't be bothered to, like, go out there and look at it. They just take the guy's money, and then they just don't walk out and, like, this is some little water pockets. This is what to expect. Thank you so much for bringing your vehicle in. You know, that kind of stuff. That goes a long way. Heads-up displays, it doesn't matter. Heads-up displays will reflect off a tint in the same way it reflects off of glass. So you're not gonna. They used to, and probably do, still put like a special film on some of them, but I haven't really seen that in a while. Okay, so this we got to be a little careful of, because the way this towel is bunched up, it's not being very nice on my tint. Is nano ceramic a gimmick? No, not at all. So there's some terms that get confused and thrown around quite a bit. Any ceramic film is a nano ceramic film. Any carbon film is a nano carbon film. Some companies use the term nano, and some companies don't. Nano just means small. Small carbon particles and small ceramic particles. So there are in fact carbon and ceramic particles in all those films, but there are different grades and different types of especially ceramic. So the finer the particles are, the clearer the film's going to be. And there's certain ones that are a little better than others. That windshield looks scratched. I know, I can't see through it at all. What the fuck did you do to it? We got some dryer sheet on the outside. It'll be all right. I think some people, I do get surprised by people that'll see us working on a car and are just like, wow, that looks like a complete disaster. It's like, well, just hang on, because we might not be done. But they just see it and they react like immediately. I'm learning. I know, I'm not speaking directly at you. I said some people. Wink. What did you put on the outside? We put dryer sheet on the outside. No, there's a few things. When we're tinting the outside of a door, people think that that's where the tint is going. When they see a bubble, they think we're done with it. When they see water dripping down here that's getting into the door panel. It's like there's no realization that water's already getting into your door panels. It's actually helped me understand people a little bit better, because for the longest time I thought, oh my God, I thought it was scratch too, but then I thought trust the process. My guy, that was a reach, but good job. '22 Explorer, what technique? What? I wanted to comment, why are you tinting the outside, but I held back. There are steps. This is a process. No, what I've been surprised at is I'll make a video, and this has helped quite a bit. I'll make a video trying to illustrate a point. And then I look at cars and tint all day, so I know where I'm going. But somebody that just has never seen a vehicle before, that's what it seems like, it just makes so many first second assumptions right off the beginning. And it's like you have to reframe what you're trying to say or even show so you can like better illustrate a point. So what I would then start with is like literally showing a window tint disaster to try and frame it like, hey, look, this is what would happen, but instead we do this and then it don't happen. And then they go, oh. But the most surprising one for me was, if a car looks dark from the outside and they can't see that person, then there's people that assume that the car is dark inside and that person can't see out of it. And so they just see dark windows and go, how can that person even drive? What the heck? And to me, that one's really funny because it's just too much. Okay, so we have like a million things of glass cleaner around here now. We'll use this one. So the secret to good clean windows is a fast drying chemical and a couple sides to a towel. One side is a wet side, one side is a dry side, and generally just alcohol and water is an amazing glass cleaner. Anything that they add beyond that becomes less of a great glass cleaner. But if there's ever any type of residue left behind, that will dry into a streak. So we're going to take this towel out. Boom. So spray one side, fold it up, spray one side. I'll just spray one side of the towel or the glass, and I'll wipe that and basically coat it and clean some of the grease off of it, and then flip to the other side. And then I'll use that same towel sometimes for cleaning off the little drips and stuff on the dash, but I'll do that either before and grab a new towel, or do it after and use the same one. You know one thing I want to try though? We have these purple towels. We're giving these away to all our customers. Look at this. You see that? That's so cool. So I'm gonna use one of these so I get the full experience here. Do you need to go to college to do this? Yes. You need to go to the Tint College. Actually, that's probably a business. Ooh, it's nice. These are the new sprayway cans. I found these in a Walmart, actually. They have little locking tops. Would you use C2 carbon on a sunroof? Yeah, absolutely. Just to darken it up, for sure. I've done ceramic on sunroofs. I've done dyed on sunroofs. I've done carbon on sunroofs. Tell them your tint studio. We do 3-day classes. I wouldn't say it's a college, though. I just don't want to screw it up and have it look like trash. That's part of learning. Sprayway, yes. Sprayway is great glass cleaner. Oh my God, these are nice, actually. What the heck? I genuinely like these. I was just looking for like a inexpensive microfiber. These ones are actually really nice. What's legal on the front window? Depends on the state that you're in. After the 3 days, are they ready to start a business? No. But it depends on where they're already at. Because it's a 3-day class, but it's not a, like, everybody comes in with a different level of skill. Some people have been tinting for a year. Some people have been tinting for 3 to 6 months. Some people have been tinting on their own car for like a couple weeks. Anybody that has already gotten some film and tools and practice on their own car or friends and family are much better off. Because you've already got comfortable with like handling film. But you're not taking a 3-day class and just being a window tinter. Like what you do is it's an accelerator. So there's so many things to learn that it's a great overview and get your feet wet with everything and get you off to a good start. But a lot of people also try to do it themselves, try to learn themselves, and then just have a lot of issues with either heat shrinking, installation, hue staging. So we go over all of it. Why don't you use the do not roll down stickers? Because those irritate me. They might be better now, but I remember using a few different kind at least 10 years ago now, and they did nothing but roll off the switches and stick to the floor. So I've been doing painter's tape, and we just got purple because it looks nice. That looks less purple on my computer screen. It is very purple in person. They never stick. They still do that, and people still buy them. If you can't get a damn do not roll down sticker to just, like, what? That's the whole point. How do they not at least do that? How much to tint a square body sliding back window? Like on an old truck? I'll be honest, I'm probably not even going to touch it. It literally just sounds like a hellish day. All right. We should probably put on the mirror, huh? That's the last thing, and then we'll be good. Have you tried PPF? Yes, I even have some old PPF videos. I am not a PPF expert. I've done PPF. I went through a little in-person PPF class, and so I hate it less. But PPF is just one of those things that it takes time and dedication, and I have less time to dedicate to learning a new skill like that. What would you recommend so people don't see in? 5. 5 and darker. 5 or 2. 15, people are still going to be able to see in some. You'll see like silhouettes. Same thing for 20. You'll be able to see in some, but you mainly see silhouettes. 35, you see colors. So you can see like steering wheel, interior, depending on the time of day, but you also can see more detail. Nice. Look at that. That looks nice. I think I got one little finger right there. So let's grab something. How many four window vehicles can you do in a day? Less than I used to. But if I just buckle down and I tint, I can get just the sides and the rear done within an hour and a half. I just don't need to do that anymore, so I don't. Also don't have that many people knocking on my door, so that's a different problem. No, the sticker on the windshield is a car wash sticker. He put that on the outside, which is actually good because I don't have to do anything to take that off. How much would it be for a full 4-door F-150? All the rears, front windows, and the rears in ceramic. So everything with the windshield? $550. Okay. So this one is all set. I got to take off. I forgot to do my check-in form, so I got to do that, cash him out, and then that is today. I've got a car coming in tomorrow, so I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. For a riveting vehicle. We got an Equinox. But thanks for hanging out.